Hi again and welcome to part 2 of this Disney video series. For this part I've decided to work on the woodwork because when it will be dried up and I will be grabbing my book again for a part 3, it will crackle. And yeah, I like the sound of crackly pages, so that's the reason. And also because I'm a bit afraid of the woodwork, I've grabbed my Albrecht Dürer pencils already for it, being sepia or dark sepia. I think as a second dark one, it's the walnut brown, then the burnt umber, then the bistre, and for some light shades, raw umber. So I'm going to start with the darkest shades, trying to figure out which one is the most dark, and I'm sure that I will be making some mistakes in lighting, but yeah, we will see how it goes. As long as it looks like wood, it's fine by me. Coloring isn't about being right about light and color combo, and it's supposed to be fun. So I'm doing my best, but if I make mistakes, I'm not a pro. So I will just try some things out. And see where it leads us. And maybe I can add some darker shades here and there, just to break the wood up a little. Wood and trees is really something it continuously is difficult, I think. It's always a gamble what I can do best, and it's always, yeah, trial and error to see if it's something that works out or not. So we will see how it goes. Since this is the bottom part, maybe I can do this all in sepia. And adding some other colors over it to have a mixture of different browns. Where here I'm more playing with some, yeah, I'm also mixing them a bit, but also playing with some light and shadow. We'll see how it goes. When I'm done coloring this little part of the window, I'm already activating it because I'm curious what the effect will be. This is the burnt umber. I still have a lot to learn about the Albrecht Dürers also. Yeah, every water medium has its own way of working, and yeah, I often get the feeling that you have to do multiple layers with the Elbricht Dürers, or maybe it's depending on the paper quality. That's also a possibility. That I'm, because I use them on even very thin paper like this is, it's not very thick at all. So it's possible that it fades out a bit more because of because of that the paper is so thin. And now I'm just maybe I have to do more of the sepia. It is the bottom part, so and now with the raw umber, I think it is, I'm going to do the last highlights. And then it's to try and see what it gives us. So I'm taking, my water brush, and I have to be careful because I just squeeze the drop out, and then it's always very wet at the beginning. So I'm putting my cloth here, and then we will see how it goes. I'm just going to start in the darkest corners and going in like I've put the colors down, and here the other way around. It's not even looking that bad. It's not looking like wood. It's too yellow here and there, but maybe I can grab more of a reddish brown to solve that problem. But then it has to dry, of course, before I go over with the reddish brown. I'm just going to lift this color extra. Well, it's not even that bad. I'm going to take a look at the back. Yep, it has gone through. That's a pity, but I will see how it will... oh, it's out of... Sorry. I have some bleed through, but I will see how it will dry up. And yeah, if it's a bit of a problem, I can cover this page up with gesso, I think. So it's always a risk when choosing a picture. And this is a nice one to lose, but if it is, it is. So I'm not going to lose some sleep over it. I'm quite liking the wood. Yep, I'm liking it. So grabbing that sepia again, and I'm going to I'm just going to work from the bottom upwards a bit. And I'm just going to put some shades where I think they can be. Going in between these, or this line a bit. then the walnut brown. Burnt umber. And then I'm thinking about going in, and I'm just going to color this burnt umber here too with some dark sepia over it. I'm just going to darken this up a bit more. And then I'm going with, not with the raw umber, because I think that's the yellow part in this. So I'm just going to use that bister. Okay, and we're going in with this one also. Doing these small areas. Starting in the shadow, the more shadowy area. Okay. Because I was thinking the light is coming from this side, this can be a bit more light, but of course this is too light. And now here I don't have almost any bleed through, so we will see how it will work out. Going to do the same on this side, but this is darker because it's not catching any sunlight, so I'm going to do the dark sepia quite far on this side. And I'm just going to add a bit of a highlight here on the side. This is planned, yeah, and this I will decide what to do with that later on. The burnt umber. And the bister. Okay. I would like to go over this already, but it's really buckly and quite wet yet, so I think I will going to dip my pencil, the brush. I will dip some pigment and do it like this, but I still have to respect the drying times. So I don't think I will do all the woodwork now because it will be too repetitive, I think. So I think I will return after finishing it. I will still be using the same colors, maybe some tints less here and there, but I don't think it's nice that you are seeing the same thing all over and over again. So I will be back in a minute with another part for this video. See you in 1 second. So the woodwork is done. Now it's time to start coloring the hair. I'm using Sandbar Brown, I believe. I'm recording this in voiceover. I will try to not to forget to write the colors that I've used down below. I've recorded this using voiceover because it's easier for me to to film when there's some noise in the background or when I'm not home alone. So I'm starting with, I think, Sandbar Brown to make some tiny shadows here and there, and just in a light way. And since this is a quite cartoony picture, I'm not going to use streaks for her hair. I'm just coloring it in the way I did her skin, by fading out my colors. So I'm happy that I've discovered this voiceover option. It's very handy, so even when my husband is home and could giggle with my English, I can still just film my coloring and go to the bedroom or somewhere else to do the voiceover without him teasing me. So he's not a bad person. He's just giggly. And it's just silly that that I just can't film when someone is around. It's super strange, but yeah, maybe I'm a bit of an introvert person, and I'm easily embarrassed, I think, especially when I'm talking in another language than I normally do. So, but this option definitely gives me more time. So even when my husband is watching some television, or I color a lot at the evening after work and after dinner, and I don't watch that lot of TV, so it's super easy to color and film at the same time and do a voiceover afterwards. So now I'm coloring in with the darkest shade of yellow with my teeny tiny pencil, and I'm leaving some areas a bit lighter so that I can use my lightest yellow color. Oh, and I wanted to mention the woodwork is not that perfect, and as you can see on the top, I haven't colored it in quite intensely, but that's because of the picture itself. You can see on the left and right side that it's being cut off. That's usually the case with some cheaper books, so I'm going to border it with washi tape. And then I couldn't be bothered to use some extra Dürer pencils because it's covered up anyway. And for an extra shading, I'm thinking about going in with some polychromos, because if I go in with water again, then I'm afraid that the page won't hold it. So, but I wanted to color Rapunzel first, and the extra details will follow later, for the window at least, because I'm planning to, or I have, but when I was coloring I wasn't sure I was going to do it already, but since I've started this picture, I wanted to do some golden highlights in her hair. I know they usually pop up when it's stroked by a brush, but it's Disney, it's fantasy. Who doesn't love gold shimmer? So I'm going to put some Paul Rubens gold in her hair after I've done the coloring in. So, and as you can see on my arm, I was still in my PJs when I've colored this. Lazy Sunday morning and Disney coloring. Perfect Sunday morning for me. So now I'm going in with some sandbar brown again to make the shadow a bit more vivid again. Not that it's super necessary, and I'm sure I'm putting my shadows not in the right place all the time, but I think it gives it a nice touch, a bit of a deeper color, and sandbar brown is quite a soft tone, so it's perfect for blonde hair. And I forgot to color a bit of her hair besides Pascal, so I will do that immediately again. Here I go. No, I'm doing the first. That's always the story with me. I color here and then I color in a different place to return to another part, and yeah, it's not in a chronological order, but I have discovered that I didn't color her hair besides Pascal, and here I go. Pascal is such a cutie. I was asked which fairy tale of Disney that's my favorite, and I can't say. I love Rapunzel. Last week or 2 weeks ago I've watched The Princess and the Frog, and it was lovely also. Pocahontas, it's more a squarey type of Disney drawing, but that was also a very fun film to watch. So now I've grabbed my white to brighten up some areas, just here and there. And then it's almost time to go in with the golden paint. So here you can see the combo of the three colors, and it's very, very lightly done. And here are the watercolors. I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat, as they say it here. I don't know if it's a saying that it's also common in other countries, but here it's called ik heb een kikker in mijn keel. And for my feeling, that fourth golden color, or the fourth color in the palette, was the most obvious choice for her hair tint. And I just sprayed the paint a bit to activate it. And I'm using my smallest brush again. It's really a fantastic one. I bought this set. It was a set of 5, I believe, at AliExpress super cheap, and it's still my first brush, so the other 4 are still new, and it holds. The hairs are. It's just a great pencil, and I really like to work with it because you can really be careful. And here I had too much paint on the brush, but I will remove it afterwards. So adding these details really make me happy. It gives the picture more vividness and a fantasy feeling, and I love using my glitter media and gold in paint, and it's just the most fantastic hobby in the world we have. And in the past I could never have imagined that I would use paints or shimmer things, and I also didn't know that they existed. But yeah, once you start growing in a hobby and discovering new things, you start to feel what you really like, and I love to paint now. It's fantastic, and I love to make combination between different media, also pencil, marker, paint, you name it. It's and I'm enjoying this so much. And Rapunzel, she just asked for golden hair. And I'm just doing small strokes. I'm not trying to exaggerate, because you still have to see the pencil. But it's just super nice to have that effect if you turn the page. So I really hope you like this voiceover type of video. It's definitely something I'm liking a lot. So here's the effect in close-up, and there was that thicker part of paint that I didn't like, so I've scratched that a bit away. And at the bottom, just a few strokes. I love it. I hope you do too. These Paul Rubens paints, wow. There are a lot of shimmery paints around I've seen, so I will have to take a look at those too. So this is the end of this part, and we will back for another. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.